What's going on, everyone? So I actually just got back from a convention. Literally, I drove in yesterday. I just got back from PAX 2022, and I thought it'd be really cool to make a video to explain maybe like if you haven't gone to a convention, what are some tips and tricks I would kind of offer to you guys? And then if you have gone to conventions, this is kind of what I do, so you might be able to pick up on what I've done in the past and kind of introduce it to your repertoire, or maybe even just kind of use some of my tricks for future conventions. Now, in the beginning, I'm going to talk a little bit about like health and just some general things about going to conventions. Again, for people that have never gone to conventions before. I'm also going to talk about like how I personally try to make connections with people when I go to cons, and how to be genuine whenever you're actually doing it. There will be timestamps in the description below, so if you guys want to jump around to certain topics, then feel free to do so. But let's get down to the first health and safety tips I got for you guys, which, by the way, I'm not a medical profession, I'm not a nutritionist, so please, this is just something that I've noticed about me going to conventions in the past, and I'm just trying to pass along these tips as tips. Don't take these as like solid 100% medical facts or anything. This is not medical or nutritional advice, but this is something I do. A lot of times you go to conventions and there's just so much stuff to do, and there's so much stuff to take in that honestly you either forget to eat, you forget to drink, and it's really imperative that you stay fueled and you stay hydrated. I can't tell you how many times I've either had meetings or events I wanted to attend, and unfortunately I wasn't able to eat in between, or things like that happen. And these are some things that I want to do in the future to kind of help myself, or things I currently am doing now to help myself stay hydrated and ready to go. So as far as staying fueled, make sure you guys bring snacks, or at least know where to get some food, and make sure that you eat. Again, there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. You might forget that you're hungry, or you might forget to actually eat. I honestly do this a lot too, and that's why I think drink control is fantastic. So again, something like either like a granola bar, or even like an energy bar, or even like Control, you can use this to replace an entire meal. I think it's super important because, again, sometimes either it's really expensive to eat at conventions, you might forget to do it. So if you bring a small snack, or you bring something like this where you can just add this with water and replace as an entire meal, it's gonna keep you fueled and ready to go for the rest of the day. Staying hydrated is also extremely important. I cannot stress this one enough. You gotta make sure you stay hydrated. I know personally I have trouble drinking water just normally, and then again, going to conventions, taking in everything in, trying to take photos, meet up with friends, it's just a lot. So you often forget to even just drink. So a couple things I would suggest is bring a water bottle and make sure that you have that. Make sure you know where your water sources are, whether it's like a free bubbler or if it's even just a stand you can get drinks at. Another thing that I did this time around to kind of help, I brought a hydration multiplier. So personally, I've been using Ghost for my hydration multiplier, but it's something that's gonna help you actually retain water better, and it's gonna help you out with making sure that you're staying hydrated. I actually drank that in the morning and at night. So when I woke up, to make sure I was able to retain my water throughout the day. And then after I was drinking at night, yes, drinking happens at conventions, as long as you're of age. Drinking at night, I would always just drink that before I go to bed to make sure I was retaining water overnight as well. Now, another thing you can do too, because obviously caffeine and energy, is I also made sure that I brought Focus, and I was trying to make sure I would drink this and stuff like that during the convention, or even have a coffee, just to make sure that I was getting my caffeine that I needed and not crashing while I was at the con. So there's a couple tips as well. This is not professional medical advice. This is just something that I have personally experienced in the past or witnessed. But I did even see someone pass out at the convention. If that does happen, please make sure you give them room. Please make sure you contact medical staff right away when that happens. And also, if there's someone that is medically trained, let them do what they are trained to do and give that person room. I was honestly really frustrated because I actually saw someone just sitting there being like, yo man, you just passed right out. Like, yeah, of course they just passed right out. And it's also really embarrassing, and you crowding them and reminding them how embarrassing that moment is not helping the situation. So back up, let the professionals handle it. If you're professionally trained, then you do you. And thanks for taking that training to keep people safe. The last part, as far as like safety for yourself and others, is listen to your body. If you are hungry, if you are thirsty, if you are tired, you need to sit down. If you are just overloaded by so much information because of the convention, the sound, the crowds and everything like that, like listen to yourself, go sit down if you need to. Don't overexert yourself, because I can tell you right now, if you push yourself too far and you do end up passing out, or you do end up not feeling well, you're not gonna be able to make the most of the convention. Sure, trying to stay down at the hall and taking everything in as much as you can is really important, but doing it when you feel like crap is not gonna be any fun at all. So make sure you listen to your body when you need to. All right, now we're gonna jump into more of the kind of streamer content creation side of things and stuff like that. I guess it's not just for content creators, but this is really just gonna be a kind of like how to connect with people and stuff like that as well. So a couple things I do leading up to a con is I always make sure that I tweet and I talk about that I'm going to this convention. Why is this important? is because other people might actually start following you, or they might actually want to meet up with you, or people that you're friends with might not even know that you're going. So make sure that you tweet this out. I personally just limit it to like a tweet or two a day, like a couple weeks before the con. And I just talk about like, I'm excited to go to the convention, asking people who are going, what they're excited to do, trying to create conversation around the convention. And again, let people know that you're going. If they know that you're going, they might try and look out for you, and they might try and find you and stuff like that. And again, it's a great way to kind of remind people like, hey, like I'm going to meet people. I want to see you. I want to meet up with you. Like, let's go. One favorite thing I like to do as well is every single day in the morning, I like to take a selfie and I like to post it on Twitter and also on Instagram just to show people, hey, this is what I'm wearing. Come find me if you want to connect or hang out or, you know, get my hug pin or whatever it is. In case you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll explain after, but you want to make sure that you make it easy to find you and connect with you. If that's what you're into, personally, I really love connecting with people, and that actually is what makes these cons fun to me. I think the booths and stuff like that do get kind of boring after a day or two, depending on what's there, but I really do enjoy connecting and meeting people, and literally it is limitless as far as how many people you can meet there. Now, something I didn't know that was important about conventions or even just making connections there is make sure you have socials. I personally never really used to use like Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. So whenever people were just asking me like how to connect with them, it would just be my Twitch, which to be honest, like Twitch is like a horrible way to connect with people like after an event or keep up with them and stuff like that. So if you want to continue your friendships or relationships with these people that you've met, then make sure that you actually have your socials ready and that you're ready to use them and show them off or share them. A couple other tips for that would be making sure you have like a business card, a QR code, a NFC tag is also another one that I saw. So I use these custom made pins that I have, and I use these at conventions to kind of also like give away to people and stuff like that. But it also helps with, you know, connecting with people. Nothing is more frustrating than actually finding someone that you really enjoy talking to or making a really cool opportunity or connection for yourself and just not being ready to actually foster that connection or that friendship and keep up with them. So make sure you get your socials ready, make sure they're easy to find, you have a good way to share them. Also, another thing is, make sure you follow up after the convention. Now, there are times where you might create a business opportunity for yourself. You might find someone that you're like, you really dig their personality and who they are, and you really want to stay connected with them and kind of continue that friendship or relationship beyond the convention. Make sure that you follow up. Make sure you make a list. One thing that I know I'm guilty of is I can find people there, and I'm really good about sharing my Twitter with people and stuff like that, but then I forget to follow them on Twitch because I know I personally like to just do it whenever they're live, just to be like, oh, hey, BPala, whatever, like, you know, I enjoy doing it that way, but that often leads me to be able to forget that I forget to like go to their Twitch, and I have so much other stuff in my mind that I just kind of maybe see them here and there on Twitter, and I don't actually get to follow with their Twitch or other platform they stream on. So make sure that you actually make a list, or even too, I've made business connections really early on. I've made business connections or business opportunities for myself, and I actually forgot to follow up with it. I forgot what the contact was to be able to reach out to them. So if you make an important connection that you need to follow up with afterwards, make a list and figure out and make sure that you know where to go to contact them and you know how to reach out to them if you need to do that. And again, this is something I would either do A, in the moment, or B, the day that you get home from your convention. I mean, rest a little bit, because I don't know about you guys, but I am exhausted. But make sure you get that list down quick, because I promise you, you are gonna forget it. I mean, unless you're not a forgetful person, but I am. Like, I forget things, like I walk into a room and forget that I was going there for my glasses and like grab deodorant instead or something. So I can be pretty forgetful. I know others can do it. So make sure you just write down a list. It's extremely, extremely helpful. And then the last and final tip I have for you is gonna be genuine. Just do it. Gotta love a good meme. But be genuine. It doesn't matter if they are a cosplayer, if they are a content creator, a community member, an industry person. All of these people are people. It doesn't matter if they run socials or anything like that. Like, they are actual people. Treat them like that. Don't treat them like they're just business opportunities and stuff like that. I can promise you that one thing that people are turned off by and get very frustrated with is whenever someone feels like they're just being talked to because of who they are or what the position is that they hold at a certain company. It's extremely frustrating for them. It's extremely frustrating for you when you feel like people are doing that. Or imagine like real life self-promoting. That is basically what it feels like. So if you ever had someone in your channel or on your socials self-promoting and you just instantly get that dirty feeling of like, they just want me to follow them, they just want to like free product, like, it's extremely frustrating, it's super annoying, and just, it's a really bad feeling to feel whenever you feel like you're just being used for some part of whatever it is you do. So Again, something I would recommend is make sure that you're just making genuine connections. I can't tell you how many times I actually had great conversations with people because I was into photography and I was into cameras, or I talked about like a TV show or a game that I played, right? Imagine you go to a gaming convention where people talk about video games and connect over video games. Crazy. But don't just walk up to someone and be like, oh, hey, I see you work for Elgato, like, or, oh, hey. Don't just walk up to someone and be like, oh, hey, I see you work for Intel. Oh, hey, I see you're like this really massive streamer. Like, don't just do that. Like, go up and just meet someone and talk to them because of they're just a person. And then if you connect with them and vibe with them, then awesome. That is gonna be the easiest way to build an actual connection. I get that people use the term networking because it is a network that you're building, but honestly, I prefer actually to use connections because again, you want to build a connection with these people and you want to make a connection, whether it's you're providing value to them. I mean, there's literally someone that was going around just taking photos of their product on the convention floor, and I was like, hey, like, do you mind if I snap a couple photos that you're trying to set up? And I snapped a couple photos for them and I showed them and they were like, wow, that's really dope. Like, what do you charge for it? And I was like, you want to pay me for that? I just genuinely like taking like photos. So that's why I took that photo. It wasn't that I knew who that person was and I was trying to like smooth something out of them. I just made a genuine connection because of sharing a passion or showing something that I love doing to someone else. So my whole point is just go meet people. And sometimes you're going to be able to meet people that are, you know, like a community member somewhere and just be able to connect with them and talk with them. I randomly met someone that was a community member of like a bunch of YouTubers and we just talked about like video games, stuff like that. And I made a really cool connection that way. It's not just about going there to meet a specific person and trying to get on their good side. Go there, meet people, talk to people, connect with them, build relationships. And I promise you, you will be successful through doing that. Just be genuine about it. And again, I've always said this before, if I don't vibe with someone, I'm not gonna sit there and pretend to like them or talk to them and just continue that conversation. And if someone gets a hint or the feeling that you're just talking to them for the reason of just being selfish and gaining from them, they're gonna cut the conversation off pretty quick and find an out for that. So don't be that person. Don't do that. It's a crappy feeling. People do it to, you know, industry people do it to, you know, like done it to streamers and other content creators. So be genuine and have fun. But that's pretty much it for this video. I know it was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I thought I would give you guys some advice since I have been to multiple conventions over these few years, and I feel like I've actually gotten down a pretty good rhythm of what to do, what to expect. So hopefully this helps you out. If you guys like this video, then make sure you give it a thumbs up. It helps me out for free. If you guys also like content like this or other how-tos or video reviews, then please make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. I also stream 3 times a week on Twitch, so follow that down in the description below. And leave me a comment. What was your favorite tip that I gave? What was a tip that you would probably give? Is there something that I might not have mentioned, or do you have a better way of staying healthy at conventions? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd really love to have that conversation with you guys. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go rest and recover. No, I lied about that. I have to offload all my photos and videos now, and I have to make that list I was talking about of people I need to follow up with. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thanks for watching this video, and until the next one, have an awesome day. See ya.